where you are in a different city, in Hungary, in Thailand, in Hawaii, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in an ashram or a prison, or you're a householder and you're raising little kids or teenagers. It doesn't matter. You're a mystic. You are graced. You may not have had such a... Don't forget, Aniko, I was a hippie in the 60s. So I was into sex, drugs, and rock and roll. When you're in an addiction, a lovely addiction, I have to say, colorful, buoyant, so now I'm an aging hippie, but that shuts down my consciousness. It wasn't like I walked around saying, oh, I've just been born again. Those are some words I put on it later. Or I've just realized that. It stayed dormant in me for years as I cleaned up my own learning experiences. My marriage, my child rearing. Do you know what I mean? I learned certain things along the path that helped me put, what's the word? Spiritual principles into little icons in a game. I had to live the spiritual principles. I had to have every setback in the deck. Just to use the metaphor of the game, and I'm sorry if people are listening to this conversation and don't really know what it is, and I can explain a bit more, but just to come back to intentions. Look at your intention. Looking at your intention will take you on a pilgrimage. And it will show you more about yourself. And my ultimate, where I'm at now, is I want to see my life. I want to see myself. One of the metaphors that my soul gave me, for me, is as a stained glass window. Those beautiful windows, in churches and the stuff. I want the soul, I want the sunlight. The people see sunlight on water, or glinting on snow, or a beautiful painting, and it awakens their soul. Not just the beauty of nature, which is fabulous, or the skill of the painter who painted the bowl of fruit so you can taste the peaches. They're so juicy. So I want the soul to shine through me as a stained glass window. And as a stained glass window, it means moving through my wholeness, my brilliance, my confusion, my faults, my strengths, my failures, my whole personality. Because when I leave this incarnation, I want to leave the trail of love and wonderfulness and sparkle that I was gifted with. As we breathe, what does the game do? Does crisis do? It makes you come alive. I'm breathing. I'm not even conscious I'm breathing. So the living miracle for me, the intention of my life, is not to be a perfect person, I always wanted, I spent half my life, Eniko, wanting to be someone different. I want to be a taller person, a thinner person. I wish I had blonde hair and blue eyes. I wish I could sing like my friend. And I can't. I can only speak English. I'm hopeless with languages. My parents spoke languages. My cousins speak. Why can't I be? So I compare myself. I find myself not up to standard, and then I crave to be someone else. So for me, one of my intentions I want to be a living miracle, which kind of ties us into the game, but I wrote down some things here because one of the things I think you're going to ask me, or you want to ask me, is what is the game and how do you live it in your life?
Yes, actually.
And I said to you, or saying, I don't just want to tell my story, which is colorful and interesting, but it's the past and it's my story and how I got here and how we got here, I think. And so how is it now? And I want it to be alive. If it's not alive for me, then I have something to look at. You know, that's my work. So, so we can talk about, so how's the game in my life? I just want to say.
Yes, and how do you use it now?
It's never not there. People, us, facilitators, players, play the game. But since I invented the game in the 70s, it played me. I was clueless. I didn't know what I was doing. And if you told me, and this is the vision, this is what it does. You're going down corridors of power. Do you know about angels? Do you know about evil? And I go, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't. I'm not sensitive. I'm not clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsensitive. That's my excuse. I'm ordinary. I'm not gifted. I'm sorry, you've picked the wrong person. I'd really like to help out and be of service, but I'm not very bright. I don't have a degree. I'm not educated spiritually. I don't know what half these terms mean. I don't know. You picked the wrong person. And so my invention of the game, I'm happy to tell people, is an argument. I argued for about 5 years and said, no, I'm not listening. No, it can't be me. It can't be. I'm boring. I'm ordinary. I'm not the person you're looking for. My country of choice, this is way back when, was Kazakhstan. I would say to God, look, this is a global thing. It's like the Beatles. All you need is love. The last 25 years of the century is a renaissance. I said, this is a renaissance. If it doesn't come through me, I'm not the only fish in the ocean. It's like lightning. It's going to come through someone. Kazakhstan, Hawaii, I don't care. There's going to be someone sensitive, tuned in, eager. They'll just go up, guided meditation, little reporter's notebook, shorthand in those days. You'll give guidance. This is the rules for the square. This is what it looks like, and this is what you do. It never happened like that. Nobody invented the game from another country. Nobody talked about it. And my niggling hobby, the thing that excited me and turned me on, even though I wasn't qualified, was what we're calling the game. And not only the game, but it came down, or it came through to me in, I know, I'm not Confucius, I'm not Einstein, but it's like inventing mathematics. It wasn't just kindergarten. 1 + 1 = 2. I'm not even sure if that's correct anymore with how they're teaching, but it was algebra, advanced university algebra, meaning it was the planetary game. It was a theatrical thing with real people, lots of people costumes. It was a sacred theatre. It was like the procession of the cross. It was like a reenactment of the. I don't have the biblical skills, the astrology skills, the spiritual skills. I didn't know any of the rules. I just knew what the icons looked like. I didn't even know how I knew what the icons looked like. I just drew them on bits of paper. I mean, this is like came down, planetary game of transformation, 5 players, round board, 2 guides. Years later, transformation game in a purple box, angel cards. There's 5 card decks in the game. There may even be more in other versions of the game that people may not be familiar with. And I remember thinking, who will buy angel cards? Who will even want to play this game? This is so esoteric. And angel card is just the beginning. It's a divine partnership. I didn't know. What I know now, and still learning, about flow and about being soul infused. Both, absolutely both. Is that as a human being, for me to be in the flow, for me to be tuned in, I need to have a certain frequency, which is at peace, not totally at peace, but not stressed out and thrashing around and saying, what do I do? What do I do? I'm all worked up. So I have to find resources to calm myself down and then ask, sit, like the Buddha said, take time. What did he say? I wrote it down today because it was a little quote somewhere. I think he said, take time every day to sit still and listen.